Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance Live Show number 55, baby. Actually, that would be 5-5. But number 55. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Alliance Live Show. We've been doing this for 55 episodes now, so I'm super excited. I'm joined by my co-host and colleague and possibly my best digital buddy on the planet. I'd have to say, good old Maurice. How you doing today, bud?
Good evening. Good evening.
I could call you digital buddy, right?
Yes.
No, we're more than that. We're more than that. We also, we bitmoji each other, and we send each other different online things. So me and Maurice, we go way back. But lot to discuss. We have some new characters coming into the game. Jedi. I made a little video about that earlier this week. If you guys didn't see that, it was actually yesterday. So if you guys didn't see that, check that out. But what are your thoughts, Maurice? What do you think about the new KOTOR characters coming to the game? It's not just Jedi. We got a whole bunch of characters coming.
Well, we'll have to see. I guess their kits aren't out yet, correct?
No.
So their kits aren't out, so we'll have to see. I mean, the Jedi. I mean, if one or two of them are the missing piece, then you got yourself a viable team for all areas of the game. We'll see. I'm pumped about the droid. The droid faction's also missing something. Maybe this new droid offers the missing piece for that. Lots of cool stuff. We'll see. And I actually downloaded that Knights of the Old Republic video game on my mobile device. Been playing it all weekend. It's kind of cool because I knew very little about any of these characters. So
you did. Okay. How is that?
It's all right. It's pretty fun. It's pretty cool. It's dated, it's 15 years old, but it's cool. I see a lot of elements of games I play today, in this. Like this was the OG. This was a good game at the time. So yep.
So basically going to the post, do you happen to have the post up?
Yeah, let me pull it up real quick. I just minimized it. All right.
So, kind of give us a little bit of a gist of what's new and what we kind of have to talk about here while I take out this, or at least try to take out this Palp and Traya team here.
All right, let's see. We got this mission bug. I guess they fixed the territory battle. Game updates.
It's actually in the developer notes, like the
road ahead. I'm sorry, the road ahead blog. Now we're on the same page. And like I just said, Knights of the Old Republic is celebrating its 15-year anniversary, and so they're bringing a bunch of stuff into the game. We got 5 new characters, 2 Jedi. We got Bastilla. We got Jolie. We got Mission Vow and the Wookiee from Knights of the Old Republic, that duo, and then also that utility droid T3M4. I imagine they're going to be released kind of like these Han Solo characters are. I don't know how they'll be released, but I imagine it'd be almost identical to that. Just spamming a whole bunch of characters at us at once here. Given the veteran players a lot of stuff to farm coming up, so just getting everybody involved. Basically talking about that, and then there's a big section on the mod changes. They're doing a lot of changes to the mod aspect of the game. Basically talking about the four goals on the forums here. Is they want to clarity, ease of use, balance, and depth when concerning the mods. Basically, the clarity section is just showing mod screens, and this is going to help newer players or just very, very casual players. It's almost like there's a new screen where it looks like in these pictures, like you can just hit a recommended set, and the game will generate out of your mods a proper set for your character. Is it going to be the best set? Probably not, but it's going to be appropriate. Just maybe like TWTB, whatever. You just throwing stuff together. This would be helpful. And also the mods right now, the way we have them, we have like the gray, green, blue, purple, gold. But all of these mods, when you level up to 15, they all turn gold. It looks like they're reverting back the mods you have to the original color. So while all your mods might be level 15, the ones that started gold are going to remain gold. And you know those speed arrows and those crit damage triangles we all got when we started collecting mods. You know, they're all just gray. The first time you get a speed arrow, you'd level it up. You know, all your speed arrows. I'm sure you have lots and lots of gray, you know, MK1 type or I'm not even sure what it is, but just the gray mods. So you can have a chance now. Excuse me. So you'll be able to tell all of your mods, and the reason they did this is because there's going to be a new, almost like a workshop area. It looks like they call it is it slicing or splicing.
It's mod slicing. They're calling it. Yeah.
So basically, what it looks like is you'll be able to take these mods, like for instance, your speed arrow. That's 30 speed arrow, but it started as a gray mod. It's going to still be a gray mod, but now it looks like you'll have some sort of way you can turn that gray mod into a green mod, and in the process, you know, perhaps it will bump up one of the stats, just like rolling a regular mod. You know, I don't know exactly how it's going to work, on how the splicing, the crafting is going to work, but it looks like, believe there. I'm trying to see if they said where we can get. What's the update? Okay, yeah, it says slicing requires new pieces of salvage that can be acquired through mod battles. And so I guess the mod battle table is that one where you initially start the mods and get those 1 and 2 dot mods, right? That's what the mod battle table is, correct?
Yes.
So it looks like you have to farm something out of there, some sort of resource. I'd imagine it's going to be real similar to maybe, you know, like the reinforcement abilities with the Omega materials on the fleet table. You know, we'll have to see, and how expensive it is and all that stuff. So, but that's only for 5 dot level 15 mods. I think that you'll be able to do that. So all the 4 dot mods you have, all the 3 dot mods you have, those are now, unless they just have crazy amounts of speed on them, those don't hold the value that they once did. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how expensive it is. It's just going to be more RNG probably in terms of mods, but a way to improve your existing mods. Like let's say you have, you know, a crit damage triangle that started. But it's got some decent stats, but it was a white mod. So, you know, maybe you got offense on there. Maybe you got some speed. Maybe flat protection, or whatever you like, but you can now have a chance to increase that, so you can turn your very mediocre crit damage mod now into a crit damage mod that potentially has 100 plus offense. It has, you know, 10, 15, you know, 15 plus speed on it, so you can improve everything you have.
Do you think we're going to be able to actually specifically choose the statistics that we want to upgrade, or do you think it's going to be kind of limited?
I highly doubt it. I mean, everything in this game is based on rolling dice, right? So I mean, right. It'd be tough to imagine a scenario where you can select it, because then, I mean, then everyone would just pick speed every time.
Right, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like, I mean, because that's all I want this for, is to increase the speed. It'd be really cool if they just did something that kind of nullified speed a little bit. Like if they just did something that really just made speed less important. I mean, not take speed out of the game, but speed's always going to be a part of the game. But I just mean make it less important than it is now, right? Because speed is kind of everything right now. Oh, she brought back Kenobi. Yes.
I kind of went all over the place with my summary of this. But there's a balance section where they do mention create more diversity in the mod meta by elevating some of the some of the sets that are currently underutilized. And in this post, they mentioned defense. And then they very specifically say there will be no changes to speed. So, I mean, that's cool. If they amp up defense, or maybe something like tenacity, or even health. I mean, which isn't one of the worst mod sets, but it's definitely not the best. I think health mods could be real important if they amp that up. Like, I guess, what do you get? 5% defense from a mod set of 2. Maybe if they amp that up tremendously, like, 25% or something. Same for tenacity. That would fix tenacity right there. The problem with tenacity, if they just gave these tenacity boosts, like if you have a set, it's like 25-50% tenacity, then you could really start utilizing tenacity mods. But right now in PvP, I mean, they're worthless. I mean, they have little to no use whatsoever. So yeah, that would be nice to see. Because I don't know about you, but all my good speed secondaries always roll on defense and tenacity mods, like every time without fail.
Right. No, that's kind of the same. But yeah, I kind of agree. Like I said, I think that they could kind of make speed. I don't mean by like nerfing speed entirely. I don't. What I'm saying by that is they said they're not going to change speed. That doesn't mean they're not going to make speed. That doesn't mean you're not going to be able to alter the speed with the mod slicing. That just means that basically they're not going to change speed like they're not going to nerf speed basically. Is what they're saying. They're not going to make speed like they're not going to take like the levels of speed that you already have on the mods. Like they're not going to make like the highest mod that's, let's say an arrow mod has 30 speed. They're not going to make like the max 25 speed or something like that. They're just going to make defense a stronger statistic, or add more defense to the mods. So like let's say for example, right now the max you can get is what like what is it, 5% defense percentage, or like how does that work exactly?
Yeah, 5% defensive percentage is pretty good. That's probably 3 out of the 4 rolls on it.
Right. So they probably increase like
probably upwards of 8. I don't know specifically. That's not really a stat I go after, but I mean if you hit it every time, it'll probably be 8% or so.
So if you guys have any. Somebody asked me if I could try Rex Wampa, Grandmaster Yoda, GK, Ahsoka Tano, Fulcrum. Yeah, okay. So let's do that against this Sith team. What do they ask for? Rex. Rex Wampa, Grandmaster Yoda, GK, Fulcrum. Okay.
What would be cool is, okay, they say speed. They were very specific. They said speed is not going to change. Perhaps they amp up all of the other stats. You know, even offense. If mods start rolling 200 offense on them, you know, you're going to be, you know, speed's not going to look quite as sexy now. Like, ooh, 200 offense. You know, I'll sacrifice a little bit of speed to get 200 offense on a character. You know, like that's. I mean, if they boost up every stat, that is one way to kind of, because in this game, very very rarely have they ever physically nerfed something. They've brought out other things that kind of balance it, whether it be new characters, whether it be new Zeta abilities, what reworks, the type of gear they put on characters, like the future gear. They kind of tone down characters as they, you know, like. Some of the better characters now, they might be receiving some of the lesser Gear 12 pieces. So when it gets Modgate, when we had all these super mods, and then when that, like, oh, we're just going to change them. And like people had all these speed secondary, all these crazy secondaries that were just pretty much wiped. And that was part of the issue.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that there's going to be. I think there's going to be a nerf to. I don't think they're going to. I'm saying, I'm sorry. I don't think they're going to nerf any of the current statistics. I think what we're just going to get is basically increases to some of the less viable mods like defense, like crit avoidance, things like that. And I don't know if they mean specifically just like specific sets, or if they're talking about. If they're talking about specific mod primaries, I don't know if they're talking about everything as a whole, because it's that kind of matters, right? Because I mean, if you're talking about like if they're going to make improvements to crit avoidance, then they're improving a specific mod statistic, because there are no crit avoidance sets. If they're going to make improvements to sets because defensive sets are a thing, then that's a whole other story as well. So I don't know what they're going to do specifically, but I hope that they do a little bit of both. I mean, I hope that they increase the sets. I hope they increase the primaries. because to be honest with you, I really see no point to. Oh, oh, she just blasted her Grandmaster Yoda out of the match. that was devastating. I really see no purpose to running a crit avoidance mod primary or even really anything but speed in that top arrow spot. So I mean, I don't know. It would be nice to see if they would add, or increase, let's say, the amount of crit avoidance that you get to make that a little bit better. This is going downhill pretty quickly here. Oh man.
Yeah, not looking good.
No, and he's isolated, so he's not going to do anything. Yeah, this is probably the wrong team to do this against, but oh. Yeah, maybe I'm playing them wrong, but I mean, I don't think no matter what I did, I would have had a shot here. I don't know how, I really would have loved to have taken out, Scion before he got all that. Yeah, I mean, he's going on a rampage now. This is over. But yeah, I would like to see them increase, some of the viability to certain primaries as well, not just mod sets. So if it's going to be, only mod sets, then that's going to increase defense. Basically, that's going to increase possibly maybe potency. Some of those mod sets, tenacity. I don't. But if they're going to increase primary statistics like offense, because 5% offense is not that much. I mean, I'd rather have 23% protection than 5% offense. If you really think about it, I'd rather have.
In some cases, not in every case, but in some cases, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's just my opinion, but it just depends on the set. I don't know.
Well, there's cases where you want offense, like your Raid Han for the Chex Mix team. You want all offense. A lot of people run that real offense-heavy Snow Trooper and a Trooper team. There are certain spots for offense where offense is great. Raid, like for the Raid, like for Wampa, and for some of your big damage dealers like a Saj. Offense is good. The Resistance Trooper, you want offense on him. Well, there's spots for every stat pretty much except defense and crit avoidance for the most, in accuracy. Those, I mean, there might be one or two characters that can utilize an accuracy arrow where it doesn't, B2 being the obvious choice, but for the most part, accuracy is junk.
Right, accuracy. Like, what is that primary set doing for anybody? No, if you're running an accuracy mod right now, why? Why?
B2 is the only character that I can think of that would benefit from accuracy mod. Just speed arrow in almost every other instance. Anything else over accuracy. I agree with Nathaniel Morgan. Accuracy is the worst.
Accuracy is definitely the worst. Accuracy and crit avoidance. Like I said, well, crit avoidance is better than accuracy, though. Any more? Do we have any more requests here for teams?
Yeah, we got first that same team. We got Grandmaster Yoda, Hoda, basically the 4 Jedi and Visas. I think that's the team. I think you made a video of.
Yeah, I actually did that at the beginning of the stream. If you rewind a little bit, you'll see that exact match. But I mean, I'll do it again just for fun. But yeah, I mean, besides that, just going back to the mod post in general here. Let me pull up these characters here. Hermit Yoda. Then we got Ezra, GK.
Oh yeah, there's a mod loadout now. I completely skipped over that. Basically, it's what people have been asking for forever. Is some sort of loadout screen, and it looks like you basically just get a blank template and you put the mods on there, and then I guess that template is going to be there, much like your tab for your TW teams and your arena teams, like where you build your actual teams and like a quick pick. Right. It looks like it's going to be something very similar to that in terms of mods. I guess you build a mod set. Like maybe you want all your fastest mods on BB-8 for P1 of the Sith Raid, but then you want to take all those mods and put them on Hermit Yoda for P2. It looks like you'll be able to do that now relatively easily It will cost. It does look like it costs credits to do it. Yeah, 52,000. It looks like. Yeah, 52,000 to quick select and do that. But that's that's pretty nice. I mean, that's what people have been asking for a long time. Like, what happens when you take them off the character? What happens to the mods on your character? I don't know. But if you get a system down, you can have it nice and organized. It just take a little bit of practice with the, with the interface and stuff like that. And try not to lose mods. They did get rid of the destroy button now, which is kind of dumb. That was over there in the first place. Like, you try to move a mod, it's like, do you want to sell it for credits or you just want to destroy it for free? Like, there was no instance where you click the destroy button ever. So they got rid of that. So that's nice.
Yeah, I don't know why anybody would ever destroy a mod. That doesn't make much sense. But yeah, they got rid of that, so that's cool. This match is kind of going into a weird direction here, where we don't have Ezra or Yoda anymore, and I really don't know how we're going to do this. But let me see if Visas can revive somebody.
Yeah, especially your Kenobi's isolated, so that's going to be tough.
This is going to be a problem. I'm going to do a heal here. Let's see if Visas can bring somebody back. And she brings back Ezra. Okay. Oh, and Trey just gets rid of Ezra.
Brought back Ezra as a meat shield.
This is a problem.
What's up, Rom? DSP says Trey is OP. I'll say it again. Yes, she is. However, these new characters might have something in their kit that counters it and neutralizes it.
Right.
So we'll see. I hope it doesn't kill it altogether. It's just like, bam, you just got Trey. She's no good anymore.
That was devastating. I did win this match earlier in the stream. I did beat that team with the same exact squad. So I mean, we'll do it again here because I mean that just really pissed me off. But but that was really some bad RNG there. I thought we started off right. I mean, you got to kind of go for.
You have mods on all these characters, yeah. Like you have them relatively well modded.
Yeah, everybody's modded out. Let's get Ezra over here on him.
Okay, how do you mod your Visas? Is she fast? Is she no speed and high damage, or?
I gave her mostly speed and offense, I think, but sometimes when I'm modding these characters, especially for the test account, it's really basically just the fastest I can do for that moment. I mean, sometimes I'm modding them like on the stream with you guys here, so it's like, I'm really just trying to get together some decent mods to get the character out there. So, would I say the mods are like optimal for Visas right now? They're okay, but I would say I could do better if I sat there and really just like took mods off some other characters and put them on her just to try to make the best 5 that I could put out there. That would definitely be like something I'd have to do a little bit of work on. But okay, come on, we gotta take out Scion here. Ooh.
If you don't have to hit, I guess you got pain on everybody except Ezra. So
this is gonna be it. This is it. Okay, let's take out Scion. Come on. Almost. Bang. All right, now let's get a heal on here. And let's work on Treya, because, I mean, she just sucks. All right, we got to take Treya out of here. I'm going to call GMY in there for the assist.
Now you have the full Zetas on this team, yeah?
Yeah. Bang. She's out. There you go. And this is pretty much, I mean, this is the meta. You know what I mean? So, I mean, you're facing against, Palpatine lead. I mean, or I mean, if you're going to go as far as, I'd say, I personally think that Treya lead, eventually, when you have everything maxed out, 7-star Treya, I think the Treya lead's going to be better, but...
yeah, this Jedi team, somebody just said it in the chat, too. I mean, it's so reliant on assisting and just, just attacking out of turn that Treya lead just cripples it. I mean, everybody, like Kenobi calls an assist, You know, the AoE assist, everyone comes into attack, they all lose 35% health. Every time Visas attacks out of turn, she loses 35% health. You know, Ezra calls an assist, that person loses 35% health. All sorts of stuff. And plus the bone, every time a character gets a buff, they lose 50% offense. So a Trey lead is kind of the kryptonite. But versus Palpatine teams, I mean, you just showed it. It definitely works, especially on offense. It's a very, very good TW offensive team to have in your arsenal. And these are a lot of characters, you know, a lot of the players that have played a long time have. Like, a lot of people have at least a Gear 10 Ezra. They have Grandmaster Yoda. They have Hermit Yoda. You know, I guarantee they have a Gear 12 GK. So, I mean, you've got 4 pieces to the puzzle. And you can use Visas like you just showed. You can use Fulcrum. You can probably use... I'm reluctant to say Qui-Gon Jinn, but Ayla's a good option as a 5th. You know, Ayla's a character that used to be very, very good. She's still good, but she's just kind of dated now. She's not quite as good as some of the other characters. She hasn't got any love, but she's still a good option. And that's a character a lot of players that have played for a year and a half or 2 have. Yeah, especially because Ayla was a key piece in the P1 tank raid teams for a long time. For that Jedi team everybody used in P1 when the tank came out, she was a key piece to that. Yeah, she was actually the leader on a lot of people's teams. So, you know, a lot of people do have her.
She's good. I made a video about her too with Mobile Gamer, and you know, she's great. It's just, again, it's really RNG dependent, because I mean, if she gets if she calls in a lot of assists, and you know, you get like a really good match with her, I mean, like, you know, she could be money, but it just depends on that, really. I mean, it depends on how much all that stuff kind of works out in your favor. And sometimes it's not going to happen, right? Like, I mean, sometimes you're going to go out there. I mean, you're not going to call many assists in, and you're going to get, you know, you're going to get your characters knocked out at the beginning of the match, and kind of like what happened with that match that we had before, where it seemed like everybody got knocked out in like the first couple seconds, and we really didn't have a shot. And you know, this one is different. Again, this is against a now we're facing a trail lead. And I think the problem that we're going to fall into here is, I think Scion is going to go crazy here pretty soon, and that's something you want to really take this team out before Scion gets going. And if he gets going, it's pretty much all downhill from there. I mean, so we'll see what happens if I can reduce his turn meter here. No, his tenacity's... Yep, that's the end of the match right there, pretty much. See, that's when Scion gets going like that. I mean, that's it. And it's like with the buffs and all this, you know, the Trey lead, just it protects them long enough for Scion to get going. And when Scion gets going, it's over. So I mean, like, you know, it's if I was able to get to Scion a little bit faster there, this we would have won this match, because once he's done. Then it's just, I mean, even if I get if somebody gets annihilated by Nihilus, I'm still gonna take out the rest of the characters here, you know. But now it's over. I mean, I'd have to kill Scion basically twice now, and he's gonna get this again before I get a chance to do that. I mean, his health pool is too big right now, and you can see most of my characters are already depleted. I mean, I've got Shock on Visa Spar here, Kenobi's isolated. Ezra is almost done. So, I mean, this went from us being basically in good position about 30 seconds ago, if I was able to take Scion out, to now the match is over. You know what I'm saying? And that's what Trey's lead does. It just kind of protects... the health pool gives them a little bit more time to get, you know, Scion going, and especially if you have Sith Trooper in there too, you know, kind of protecting Scion, it makes it a little bit harder. So that's where we're at right now with this. But let's see. Yeah, this is pretty much over. I mean, there's nothing I'm going to be able to do here that's going to get this. He's just going to... I mean, the amount of damage... Yeah, it's over. And she could have possibly revived somebody, but... Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so, you know, as far as the mod talk is concerned, you know, I think that, you know, being able to create mod sets, I mean, this is all the stuff we've been kind of hoping for the longest time, right? I mean, like, you know, getting the ability to make mod sets so you don't have to, take individual mods off every different all different characters. You can kind of keep your mod sets together, and if you want to, let's say, gear up or put together a new arena team, you can just take the mods off your old arena team and put them on the new arena team. You can have like an arena set. You can have a set for for example, for territory battles. You have sets for all different types. Yeah.
Well, at least the way I'm going to do it is, like, I have sets that go on characters like Raid Han for Chex Mix, like I mentioned. Visas Mar and that Yoda team for P1 of the raid needs no speed whatsoever, just all damage. Just like Snow Trooper, characters like even like First Order TIE Pilot in some of these teams, like a Phasma team. Like, these characters you stack them with your very best offensive mods. Like, you don't need any speed whatsoever. They generate turns by other means, and it'd be nice to have that set where I could just put it on my, Resistance Trooper in P1, and then take it off instantly and put it on my Han for P3, and then take it off again and put it on some other character for just instantly, just boom, 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 get the same best offensive stats across the board, just every time. It'd be nice not to have to search and hunt for those. Because in terms of mod swapping, that's all I really do is just move around I have like 2 mod sets that I just move around like that. Like my very fastest one and then my heaviest offense one. So it'd be nice to have those 2 on speed dial. Just especially when we're running late for the raid, you're like, oh, you don't have time to, like the raid starts, you're like, oh, you start panicking. You're like, you don't have time to swap mods. It'd be nice just to get in there and get it done.
It's a really good team is like this raid team with L3.
Yeah.
It's like Ray, L3.
L3, I'm telling you, man, once everyone can get their hands on her, she's going to be something else. She's a great character. You really have to have her 7-star really pimped out to get the maximum out of her, which is weird because, traditionally tanks are the ones you can get away with at lower star and gear, but this one, her kit just revolves a lot around healing and health and her health pool, so you really need to get the most on there. It's really difficult. At 4-star, I had a real hard time getting her above 20k health, and that's a gear 11. It took a lot of modding, so she's not quite ready. But by no means should you rush out and buy her. She's not like essential to any game mode, but she's a very, very nice piece to have in your arsenal.
Yeah, she's an interesting character overall.
Well, you're sitting here messing with the droids. I mean, what do you think this L3 kit's gonna include?
You talking about the new droid that's coming out?
Yeah.
Well, I was actually mentioning that the other day too. I mean, I think the sleeper out of this whole thing is going to be that droid, because we're getting a lot of cool droids, right? I mean, L3 seems to be really good. I really like the kit for who was the droid that we had most recently besides L3?
IPD, right?
Right. Imperial Probe droid is really good. Yeah, the last few droids that we've gotten are actually really good. So I think that there could be definitely like a good droid team you could put together, especially with Rey like this. So I mean, I don't know. I think that the kit, I hope, has synergies not just with the other new characters. I hope the synergies are specific to droids as well. But do I think that the new droid is going to like change the droid, make it a droid, make droids viable again? No, I think it'll just be another piece. I still think we're just waiting for a droid leader ability that's good besides HK-47s, because even though HK-47's leader is awesome, it's missing something, because leader abilities today are not like, I mean, it's just turn meter on crit chance.
He is missing like the character. Yeah, like you might as well just go into battle with 4 characters with that leadership, but he's worthless. He's such a terrible
character. HK-47, yeah, he's missing a lot of stuff.
So bad. It's just awful.
And really, all he adds is his leader ability. And what I'm saying is that it's not even that. I mean, when that leader ability came out, it was the bee's knees because it was. I mean, not it came out, but I mean when when droids really were in the meta, it's because that was such a. I mean, it's simple, but it's like it gets the job done. Nowadays, simple just doesn't work anymore. I mean, you need to have, besides turn meter, you need to have like stacking offense and, something that kind of is anti buffs or anti debuffs. I mean, like there's so many mechanics now in this game that are so intricate and so detailed. And I mean, if you just look at the kits for some of these newer characters that are in the game. I mean, not that I'm a huge fan of the very complicated kits, but I mean, if you take a look at, like, for example, like all these new scoundrels that we got, I mean, their kits are like really complicated. The whole prepared squad, that's pretty intense. So, I mean, again, does it have to be that intense to work? No, but do I think that HK-47 could benefit from, let's say, some added verbiage there to his leader ability? Yes. And maybe even some added damage, too. That'd be really nice, too. Because, I mean, he's actually a pretty hard... I mean, he's supposed to be a pretty hard-hitting character. I mean, in general. I mean, he's a pretty big badass in the Star Wars universe, as it is. I mean, in this game, he's just kind of like a lame that really doesn't do much damage. I mean, his Meatbag Mayhem has a little bit of utility because it spreads debuffs, but it's like also random. It's unreliable. You don't know if you're going to stick speed down. You don't know what debuff you're going to stick. You have like a 25% chance to stick a whole bunch of different things. But it's like...
You remember when the tank came out? You go into P2, and HK-47 goes, you throw the bomb. If it doesn't land speed down the hole, you just retreat and try again. And it's take you like 15 tries to get it. You're just like, come on. It's just...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Those were the days.
Okay, so let's go into our weekly meta report here, and we'll kind of do a little bit of that. All right, so our top 10 leaders at rank 1, Emperor Palpatine holding it down. So we have not much change here other than, Darth Traya continues to see an increase. Obviously, Harrison Dula still holding on there at the end, which is crazy, but I mean, it makes sense when you think about it. But yeah, I mean, not really much to discuss here. Palpatine's still dominating the pie, but you see Traya slowly moving up the list, and she's going to, I mean, I'd say, let's see, it's 604 to 587. She's going to surpass Rex probably by the next meta report. So I think her and Rex are pretty much at almost a tie right now. I think by the next meta report next week, she'll be at number 4. And she'll be right behind Rey Jedi Training, who's kind of 50-50 with CLS. And I think a few weeks from after that, as Traya, continues to get unlocked by a lot of people, she'll eventually surpass Rey and CLS as well. So we'll see. But I mean, what do you see here?
Same thing. Pretty much everything you just said. Rex isn't faring incredibly well in this meta because, especially with the AI, it seems like Traya always isolates Nihilus, right? Every single time. So, under the Rex lead, Nihilus isn't getting all that turn meter, and it kind of just fizzles out. I mean, you can definitely do it. A lot of people still use Rex. It's just, well, he might slowly disappear for 3 months, and then he'll be right back to counter the next meta if he does fall down. So if you guys have invested in Rex recently, don't freak out. He will be back. And he's still here. So I'm being a little dramatic, I guess. And Traya, we'll see. We'll see more and more of Traya. Because, when you get her, you got to have the Zeta for her. You got to gear her up. So we'll see her climb a little bit. And then, probably another month or two, we'll see which Sith lead really is the popular choice.
Yeah.
So that'll be interesting.
Yeah. That's our top 10 leaders at rank 1. Moving along to our top 10 squad members at rank 1. Obviously, Emperor Palpatine still ahead of Grand Admiral Thrawn. He took over Grand Admiral Thrawn's spot. Now Vader is over Grand Admiral Thrawn. What are your thoughts about Grand Admiral Thrawn kind of slipping out of the meta here? I mean, he was number 1 forever as far as rank 1 squad members, and now he's at number 3.
Well, because the problem with Thrawn in Arena right now is he's not a Sith. So you're getting all these Traya versus Traya matches, right? And Traya cleanses the buffs from Sith. So like when it's your Treya's turn for a basic attack, you just hit Thrawn because you just stick everything on him and he can't shed it unless he does his special move. So if you time it properly, you can just shut down Thrawn altogether instantly. I mean, with all these debuffs, your team Trey attacks and spreads them all. So you're talking, you instantly put ability block, daze, health down, dots, everything, the whole board on top of Thrawn. Maybe I use him in my arena team, but on my arena team, he's like a one-trick pony. He just fractures and that's it. He does nothing else.
Right.
So, see, a lot of people kind of go with the Sith Trooper. A lot of people are using Sith Trooper, at least on my shard. So,
I mean, you're seeing Grand Moff Tarkin as one of the top 10 squad members at rank 1. What the heck is going on in the world where Grand Moff Tarkin has made his way to the top 10 squad members at rank 1? Are you seeing any Grand Moff Tarkin out there? I don't see him.
No.
No. Who is running Grand Moff Tarkin at rank 1? Godspeed for you running Grand Moff Tarkin at rank 1. Godspeed to you guys out there. I would like to tip my cap to you guys. Tip it. If you guys could just imagine me tipping a cowboy hat to you right now, anybody who's running Grand Moff Tarkin, that's what I'm doing right now. But, yeah, I mean, Traya is on the list now. She'll continue to rise up, too. We're seeing less and less light side characters. CLS is falling back. R2-D2's falling back. Han Solo's falling back. And Grand Moff Tarkin is working his way up. There's almost as many squad members. There's almost as many Grand Moff Tarkins at rank 1 as there are Han Solos at rank 1 right now. And I never thought I'd say that. Never. Especially since Grand Moff Tarkin's gotten no rework or any. I mean, nothing's different about him. I mean, he's the same old Grand Moff Tarkin. So, but good stuff. Anyway, that's our top 10 squad members at rank 1. And for all you Grand Moff Tarkin heads out there, God bless you guys. We're gonna move on to our top 5 for the week. We actually have a fun one. This week we're doing top 5 worst Zetas in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, courtesy of the Alliance and good old Maurice and I. So let's go ahead and dive right in. Our number 5 worst Zeta in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes is Farm Boy Luke Skywalker's unique ability. Actually, no, his leader ability. Sorry.
Easy, yeah.
Leader ability, sorry. His unique is actually pretty cool, but his leader ability is A New Hope, and the Zeta actually gives you 5% tenacity, and it's whenever an ally resists a detrimental effect, they gain advantage for 2 turns. That's what the Zeta actually does for you. So why do we have that at number 5 here, Marines?
Well, because tenacity in an arena setting is blick. So you get 50% tenacity, which isn't terrible, but it's not enough. But the Zeta itself only gives 5%, like you mentioned. And then whenever an ally resists a detrimental effect, they gain advantage. I mean, out of all, there's so many Rebel leads out there that don't even require a Zeta that are heaps better than this. This is not a good leader ability, and the Zeta is almost just like a smack in the face. And if you look on the SWGOH, there are lots of people, thousands of people that have invested in this leader ability. I couldn't believe it. How many people? It was on like the second page at the bottom. I couldn't believe how many people did that. But I mean, that's a bad one, guys. Don't do this Zeta.
Yes, no, I agree. It'd be different if Farm Boy Luke was a first order character and advantage had some sort of other benefit to the other allies, but it doesn't. And the tenacity, obviously, I think can help if you have a high tenacity squad. Like if you've modded your team for high tenacity, then it helps. But I've always been sort of a proprietor of the fact that if you're not going all tenacity, then don't go at all. Like if you're not going to go over 100% tenacity with all your mods and secondaries and everything, if you're not going to be amassing over 100% or 100% tenacity, then there's no reason to do it because you're not going to really see enough of the benefit for it to make sense and not go for another statistic. So, you know, again, if you have like an all tenacity squad, I mean, maybe there's something there. I used to think that this leader ability had some viability. I'm glad I've never taken the plunge and gone crazy into it, but I do have to say that the Zeta doesn't really give you that much benefit. You know, 5% tenacity and 2 turns of advantage, you don't really need that. So that's our number 5 worst Zeta in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Moving on to number 4 worst Zeta in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, K2SO's unique ability, and that is reprogrammed Imperial Droid. Now, I know this ability personally very well because I have it. Okay, so listen, I'll tell you, you know, I don't know what I was thinking, all right, but if somehow it made sense to me when I first got the Rogue One characters, I thought I was going to put this whole awesome Rogue One team out there. You know, I did really well in the tournaments. I had, you know, I had a 7-star Jin, a 7-star Cassian. I had K2SO. Obviously, he was free for us Android folks out there at first. So I was able to get him really, really easily. And I had this full Rogue One squad. I was like, let me do this, right? So I threw the Zeta on him. And man, is it bad. It's 1% protection for every time he gets hit. So, you know, basically, you know, if he gets hit 10 times, or he takes damage 10 times, you're getting 10% protection back. Now, over the course of, let's say,
we're getting max.
Right.
Yeah.
Over the course of, like, let's say, a raid, it can add up at the end. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, over time, you know, if he's taking less damage than he's regaining, then he can kind of gain his health back. But it's really, I mean, you do not see the benefit in Arena or in TW anywhere like that. So it's a horrible Zeta. Take it from experience.
The character sucks too. I mean, this is a Zeta ability that's specifically meant to match Jin's leadership ability. Because I mean, when this was released, there was really no way to generate protection regeneration without that leadership. Like there was very, very few ways to get. It's not like it was now, like where there's all sorts of protection regeneration. There was very, very few ways to do so. And you know, I don't know. It's bad. Yeah, it's very bad.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Yeah, I would say this is definitely the 4th worst Zeta in the game. But moving on to our number 3 worst Zeta in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. You said it, Grim. Bodhi Rook. And it's actually kind of perfect timing for us to discuss this because I'm actually going to be Zetaing my Bodhi Rook very soon. And it's not by choice. It's because I was, I guess, a little unwise and threw my name into the hat as somebody who would do something wild if we got a certain goal reached on our donation stream on Reality Skewed Gamers. And now I'm about to unlock Darth Treya, and I'm going to use 20 Zetas on Bodhi Rook, which is fine. I'm just going to go all Bodhi. Okay, this is the way I look at it, right? If I'm going to put Zetas on Bodhi, I might as well just get him to Gear 12, load him up with some Omegas, and see what happens, right? I mean, there's not a lot of Bodhis out there, okay? There's not. All right, so maybe there's a secret weapon hidden there that I just don't know about yet. Maybe nobody knows about it yet, but I'm going to find it. Okay, I'm telling you, I'm going to find it, and Bodhi's the man. All right, so his Zeta is actually double duty, and what does the Zeta actually do for him, Maurice?
Basically, I think it's at the end of his turn. At the end of his turn, he gives offense up to a character that doesn't have it. The end. So, again, this is one that's specifically catered to match with Jin, right? So, I mean, because then you would get the offense up and a little bit of protection regen, but it's just not enough. I mean, to pair it with Jin, that means you have to remove another character from the team. And who are you going to put in Bodhi Rook for Chirrut? You going to put him in for Baze? You know, like what? Just terrible Zeta. Not good.
No, he is just overall as a character, not really that interesting. He's kind of a joke, actually. And he really doesn't have a ton of viability. One of those characters they just kind of threw in with the Rogue One movie. And I find it kind of weird, to be honest with you, because Bodhi Rook, I mean, we didn't get Snoke or any of the the Imperial Guards, the Praetorian Guards out of Last Jedi. We got more characters out of Rogue One than we got out of Last Jedi. We got Bodhi Rook, we got Biston, we got Scarifrow Pathfinder, Jyn Erso, we got.
I had to go out of my way to make this list, like include other characters besides Rogue One on there. Like their Zetas are terrible. Not a very good faction.
We got so many Rogue One characters in this game, and we got like literally Kylo Ren unmasked, Rey Jedi training, and I think like 2 other characters from Last Jedi, a saga film.
Yeah, that is kind of odd.
All right, whatever.
They're still tweaking them. We just got that Rogue One tag recently. That's a relatively new thing.
Yeah, because they're gonna make a sequel. It's gonna be called Rogue 2. and they're gonna have a synergy together. It's gonna be Jyn Erso's Force Ghost. She's gonna come back and she's gonna steal the Death Star in general, just the whole Death Star. So she so Bodhi Rook grants offense up for 2 turns to a random ally who doesn't have it, and that's really all it does. That's definitely not worth a Zeta. Don't do it. I'm going to do it for you just so you know you shouldn't do it. And I'll put it on a video so everybody can see it. And it'll be probably the worst moment of my life. But I hope you guys get to enjoy that moment with me on camera. So we're going to put that together. But that's our number 3 worst Zeta in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. How could it get worse from there, you say? We have our number 2 worst Zeta in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. And that is Jyn Erso and her ability to be immune to stuns. That's it. 20 Zetas and you can be immune to stuns. An ability that can be resisted anyway.
I mean, if you got Palpatine and you try to go in and stun the Rogue One team, you stun all 4 characters except Jyn, and then Jyn can, really just wipe out. Jyn comes in with her basic attack and does like 3,500 damage on a crit. I mean, that's whoopee. She's not stunned. It's so silly. And our friend Cassispella went ahead and went all in on her and did both. Oh. I remember that when she came out, he put 2 Zetas on her immediately.
That's horrible. Yeah, no.
That's pretty bad, guys. Don't. No.
Her leader's actually okay. Her leader's actually pretty good. I have that Zeted. But you can see I did avoid the Jyn unique, and that's because, not even I was that dumb. I was like, no, I'm not doing this. I believe in Rogue One, which was a horrible choice in the first place, just believing in Rogue One, but that Zeta is just not worth it. Stun immunity, just have Yoda on your team or Rex and just get tenacity up. Don't do it. But that's
apart from her leadership, I don't think there's really no Zetas you should put on that team besides her leadership. They're all bad. Like we could have very easily had a top 5 of all Rogue One for this because.
Well, Maurice and I actually went back and forth a little bit about Cassian's unique being on here, and I thought, first of all, we don't want to have that many Rogue Ones on here, but I think Cassian's unique is actually okay. I'm not a hater of it. Starting off the battle with protection up for I think it's 3 turns is not bad. That's again, could you get a lot more bang for 20 Zetas than that? Yes. There's definitely much better Zetas in the game than that, but I think that Cassian Zeta, the protection up for 3 turns to start the encounter, does work out to benefit certain characters. So, for example, if you start off with, for example, Ahsoka Fulcrum, and she gets all the benefits from those buffs to start the encounter. So she already has, a whole bunch of buffs to start off with, like on a Rogue One team. That could be a benefit. Or if you're facing against. Especially since the Jyn lead, because you have the Zeta there too, so you're getting protection from her. I think that it's not that bad, but her unique and K2SO's unique are definitely not worth it. And you know, the only one that's really worth putting on there for sure is her leader ability, without a doubt. That's definitely 100%, you know, a viable Zeta. But moving along to our number one worst Zeta in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. Number one, Stormtrooper.
Oh boy.
So why is Stormtrooper the worst Zeta?
Well, he's pretty bad. He's what is it? 40% offense every time an ally Empire character dies. I mean, I'm just winging it. I'm trying to pull it up here. My stuff's lagging. Yeah, 40% offense for each defeated Empire ally. That's cool and all. So that will give you 160% offense on a very wide range of damage on that basic. But good luck cleaning up a team with just Stormtrooper. That's silly. That's
right. 40% offense, which would give you 160% offense if all of your team died.
Yeah.
Except for Stormtrooper, and you know, that's probably not going to win you any battles. So, can you live without Stormtrooper Zeta? I would say, hell yes. You don't need it. Okay, and you know, I'm not going to do it. You shouldn't do it. We should call this the top 5 Zetas you just don't do. Okay, but that's definitely a bad one. I agree 100%. And is that worth 20 Zetas? No. Is it worth 10 Zetas? No. I wouldn't even put 5. Even I would take it. I would take it for 5 Omegas. I might take it for 5 Omegas, but not for 20 Zetas. No. So that's our number one worst Zeta in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes. We do have an honorable mention this week because we just couldn't put another one on the list, but this one is definitely worth noting, and that is Clone Wars Chewbacca Zeta. I bet you a lot of you guys didn't even know that Clone Wars Chewbacca had a Zeta, but in fact he does. And what it does is it gives you 5% heal on his Defiant Roar, plus, what is it, Term Meter? I believe he gets...
Well, he gets 25% additional. It doesn't even give you... It brings it up to 50% chance to gain Term Meter. He cleanses himself and does some other nonsense that's not helpful at all. So, pretty bad.
Yeah, it's a horrible Zeta. It's a 25% Term Meter gain, plus 10% heal, and dispel all debuffs from self. So basically, I mean, you know, it went from making Clone Wars Chewbacca completely unusable to just unusable. Yeah, I mean, so he went from being completely unusable to just unusable, period. And I mean, he took basically. I didn't even know that this existed. I mean, to be honest with you, I was sitting there looking through Zetas, and I was thinking to myself, like, what's the worst Zeta here? And I saw Clone Wars Chewbacca had one. I said, this one has to suck, and it totally does. And so it's worth mentioning. But that's our friends don't let friends Zeta, Stormtrooper, or Chewbacca, or Bodhi Rook. But you guys are gonna let me do that. So that's our top 5 worst Zetas in Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, courtesy of the Alliance and good old Maurice. We're going to get back to some gameplay here. If you guys have any requests or any questions, I know we've already gotten a few questions in the comments section. We'll go over those now. We'll start to do our Q&A. And if you have any requests for teams for me to play, you know, you can type that in. I'll try to get to those as well. Any topics you'd like to discuss, now's the time where we start to discuss those. So if you guys have anything you want to talk about before we end the stream, now's the time. But do we have any questions, Maurice?
Yep. Let's go. We have first question. Jose Garcia, when is the next MSF stream?
Oh, that's a good one. Well, I've actually decided that we're not going to be doing MSF streams anymore.
There ain't one.
There ain't one. Yeah. And it's not because I don't like MSF. I'm still gonna be playing MSF, and we may revisit it again at some point down the road. But honestly, the timing didn't work out with Maurice's schedule and mine, and I want to focus on Galaxy of Heroes mainly because that's game I've been covering for a long time. It's a game I know better, really, to be honest with you, than Marvel Strike Force. And when it comes to covering content like this, you want to be, I want to be talking about a game that I'm as knowledgeable as possible in, to give actual advice that I feel like is viable for you guys. And I felt like there was still a bigger learning curve for me with that game, and I just want to. Plus, I'm a bigger Star Wars fan, you know. But I may still make the occasional video here and there, or something like that. But for the time being, the live stream is going to be on hold. We're not going to be doing that. Sorry to disappoint
you. Cast a spell a message to me on Discord. In defense of the Jin Zeta, Cassie and K2 Zetas, their ship is crazy good. So yes, Cassie, you have a pimped out Cassian's U-Wing. That is true. So, yes, if you get all 4 Zetas on that ship, I'm sure it's amazing. That's not a ship I will have maxed out for a long time. All right, we do have another question here. We have, let's see. Darth Bob says, I have half my guild locked out of the Heroic Sith for the past month. These guys are not guild hoppers. Do you think CG will correct this, or should I start a revolution?
So guild members are locked out of the Heroic Sith? Why are they locked out?
I imagine they reached the threshold where they had too many Sith raids in an X amount of time. But I thought that was based on weekly. I don't think it's based on monthly. This I don't know. I really don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you there.
That's if you want to get more info about that, that's something I'd have to really talk to Capital Games about, and I happen to have the ability to talk to them. So if you want to find out more about that, reach out to me on Discord after the stream, and I will ask in my Game Changer chat, what's going on with that, and try to get you, a solid answer on it. I personally don't know what's the reason for that could be. It sounds like, if it's not like a bug or something, then there has to be some sort of a mechanic in the game that's withholding you guys from doing that. So there has to be a reason, but that's the first I've heard of that.
So just spam them with tickets, and it doesn't do much good, but it's worth a shot. That's just screenshots and tickets and stuff like that. And I don't know. I guess that's really all you can do. Make semi-polite post to the forum. Don't go in there just flaming and having a temper tantrum about it, because you can't do that. But next question, 2 from Keyboard. First question is, do you have a pet? Do you have any pets, Ramon?
Well, yes, I actually have a cat, and my cat is awesome. Right now, I'd have to say I used to have a dog, but I wasn't really home enough to take care of a dog, so I had to give the dog to somebody else. But yeah, no, I have a cat. His name is Poncho, and he's my best friend. Besides good old Maurice.
I was really hoping your cat's name was something like Mr. Belvedere or something snazzy.
Mr. Muggles? No. My
Muggles.
No, my cat's name is Poncho. Very simple, very awesome. And my cat has been a part of the family for a long time. We did get a dog about a year ago, and I wanted to try to take care of the dog, but again, with work and everything, the dog needed to be out more, and we didn't have enough. I figured it was better to give him more space to run, so I gave him to a friend. But we got a donation from DSP. Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that, of course. Obviously that's very nice of you. I appreciate when anybody does support my content. I'm trying to buy more equipment and put out better stuff for you guys. I'm trying to get better with some of the editing. So I know some of you have seen some of the more recent videos that I put out with little clips in the beginning. I'm trying to get a little bit more creative with some of the stuff that I'm doing. So I hope you guys enjoy that. But thank you very much. I will get to that request here. So Yoda, Grand General Kenobi, Ahsoka Tano, Fulcrum, Geo Spy, Wampa versus JTR. Yes.
Make sure you got mods on Spy. Just go in there and get that silent strike off. It'll be like 9K with no mods.
Right.
So, but next question. Okay, yes, you have Poncho the cat. I don't have any pets. Just my Star Wars account.
You don't have any pets?
No. Next question from Keyboard. What do you think will be in the new character's kit?
Okay. Well, I'm not going to lie. I know what's in the new character's kit, so I can't really tell you what I think is going to be in the new kit. I would love to answer that question, but...
stay tuned.
Stay tuned. I think there will be some interesting synergies with the Jedi, and you have to wait and see what that's going to be. But I really can't speak about it until we're allowed to speak about it. And when that time does come, believe me, you'll hear my opinions about it. But
I have no idea. Like I said, I just downloaded. I've never played Knights of the Old Republic. I downloaded it this weekend. I played it for like, I don't know.
Well, you don't.
An embarrassing amount of time this weekend, but it'll be interesting to see if the kits in game translate to what I've seen so far.
What do you think? What do you think's going to be in the kits? You don't know yet, so you could talk.
No, I have no idea. Like I said, I played this game for maybe 8 hours. Okay, we'll say 8 hours, and thus far, the droid looks like a support droid. So it's just yet another support droid. Chopper, R2, BB-8. L3 to some extent. They're all just, you got a whole bunch of support characters with all these. The newer droids, they don't have any damage. Any of the newer droids. I mean, go back to K2SO. Just decent kits, interesting, unique kit. But when he counters for 2,000 on a crit, you're just like, ugh, come on, like that's terrible. Like I really was hoping for some damage, and we'll see. In terms of, I haven't encountered the second Jedi, but the Wookiee and Mission Vow, I wouldn't be shocked if they had like some synergy with one another, perhaps. Just judging from what I've seen in the game, maybe they have like a Wigs, Poe Finn type in-game synergy. I'm not really sure. I guess the leader would be Bastilla. I don't know. I haven't encountered the Jolie character, so I'm not sure which character would be the leader per se. But in the game, she does. She is one of the youngest Jedi to conquer the battle meditation, right? So there might be some element of that in her kit. But besides that, I have no idea. This I don't know.
I think. I think she'll be a good character. I think she's got some interesting synergies, and obviously with all the new kits that have come to the game over the last few months, even the last year, I'd say over the last year and a half or so, they've been pretty on the money. I mean, there's obviously better kits than others. I mean, of course, kits like, for example, Emphy's Nest is fantastic. I mean, those are going to be better kits than some of the others that you see out there. But do I think that you're going to like it? Yes. I mean, I think that they're very good nowadays. I mentioned this quite a few times in the past. They're very good nowadays at controlling the meta. This was not the case when the game first came out. When the game first came out, there were characters that, like Geonosian Spy was the best character in the game, not Geonosian, I mean Geonosian Soldier was the best character in the game. First Order TIE Pilots was the best character in the game. They were making kits, and I feel like there was kind of a disconnect between, the ability to make some of the more popular characters the best characters in the game. And now They've gotten that down, to the point where the characters like CLS are the best characters in the game. Characters like Ray Jedi Training. I mean, they know how to put a kid out there that's going to dominate the meta, and that was not the case for a long time. So, I mean, um, yes, I think that you're going to like the new kits. I think they'll be good, but I think the synergies will matter, and it's going to also depend on, a little bit as far as like what characters you have with them. I mean, so that's going to be important too. It's not just the characters; it's what the synergies are as a whole with the entire squad these days. It's not like the old days where you're just putting together. I mean, unless you're putting together like a rec squad where it's kind of like, you have 5 different components that are all good at what they do, and they're good. You're trying to put together a team. And a good team, works good, has a good synergy together.
Well, again, we touched on it earlier. Like, all of us, old dusty veterans that play this game for a long time, we sit around like, who you farming out of, Cantina? Who you farming out of Hard Nose? It's just like, like generic characters, just like trash characters. We have, we farm for the majority of stuff, but now, even the most seasoned veteran player, with the exception of those that just buy all the marquee characters, they're going to have tons of stuff to farm here shortly. A lot of people are working on Scion, Visas, and the 2 Resistance characters, Holdo and Rose, now. And, there's still people finishing up Townsend, finishing up Wicket. Depends on where you are in the game, but now all of a sudden we're going to have these 5 new solo characters coming to unknown farming locations. We got Boss coming probably in a week or so, very soon. Now we have 5 new characters. It's going to take them months to get there, but it's steady flow of new characters for us to keep farming. It'll be interesting to see where they all go.
That's the name of this game. Steady wins the race. I mean, you're not. You coming into this game as a newer player. I mean, you're going to be, kind of overwhelmed with all the stuff that's going on. And I have people, write me comments, on Discord and on videos, and they're trying to put together squads. And the thing is that it's there's no overnight answer to getting yourself to where you want to be. You just have to slowly work your way up there. And some of these characters you want to get. I mean, Scion, for example, Nihilus. I mean, these characters are hard node farms now, and unless you're going to spend money, you're going to have to grind them. And grinding a squad that you want sometimes isn't necessarily the squad that you need. You know what I mean? So you got to go for all the pieces that you need first, and then once you're content and able to clear the content and you have all the pieces that you need, then you can go after some of the things that you want. And that's really kind of the way this game works.
Well, it's just, I would imagine these KOTOR characters will be in more difficult spots. Like if you look at the board as it is, like like Phoenix is relatively easy to get. They basically give you Kylo Ren and his ship as soon as you want it. First Order Executioner's an early node. All the current stuff is pretty easy to get, right? Like I don't know, is like the stuff in the back of the table there. I guess the veterans are there, but like Phoenix is real easy to get. I'd imagine the solo characters are going to be easier to obtain than these KOTOR. Hold on, there was a question that. Okay, thank Kyrell. I'm saving up all my crystals to get the new Old Republic tunes to 5-star when they hit shipments. Should I keep this plan, or should I switch to focusing on mods and using crystals for refreshes?
Can you repeat that question again?
Basically, he's starting now, and this is kind of what I did for the veterans. We were gossiping about the veterans being for Ray. You save up. He's saving up his crystals, starting now, to get these characters. I guess the KOTOR characters. To purchase them out of shipments when they become available to 5-star. I guess he's anticipating some sort of legendary event. He's asking if this is a good plan or he should spend his crystals on refreshing mods.
Well, I don't know.
That's a lot of crystals.
That's a lot of crystals, and I don't know about the legendary event either. Listen, the name of this game, I'll tell you the truth, is mods. Okay, so I mean, I think that you're going to do yourself a tremendous benefit by continuing to increase your mods. I don't want to say that it's a bad idea to try to get the new characters, but I do want to say that I think there's a larger benefit, long term, to increasing and improving your mods, because that's what's going to help you out in TW and other areas of the game. Okay,
well, you played a long time, man.
All right, let's see here what we can do. We're gonna go. We're gonna go. Doesn't matter if this will hit through foresight, right? This is unavoidable.
What, Silent Strike?
Yeah.
Yeah, it will.
All right, so we have. Let's see how many buffs do we have here. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on Geo Spy, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on Haldo. Let's see what kind of damage this does. Oh, 76k.
Not too shabby. That's probably not a super modded spy either.
No, it could have more offense for sure.
But anyways, Thane, you've played a long time, man. Like, saving crystals is always a good idea. I would personally save them. You might not spend them on these characters, but just wait and kind of see what this mod overhaul looks like. Because if the materials are relatively easy to obtain, you probably have plenty of mods you can work on and make better that you already have. You can maximize what you already have in terms of mods. Because I'm sure you've got some greens and blues and purples you've leveled up, over the months and years you've played, that you can make better instead of just getting new ones that you're going to have to amp up. So it's not a bad idea. And there was another question that just came in that kind of pertains to this. Again, saving crystals, anticipating that there's going to be another panic farm event like Thrawn was with Phoenix. Josue asks, what will we get first, Revan or General Grievous rework?
I think a General Grievous rework.
I do too, because there's no guarantee. Like, everyone's just assuming Revan. And after playing this game for as short a time as I have already, the KOTOR game, it could very easily be Malik. Very, very easily.
For sure.
Be the legendary, character that we're after. So we'll see. A lot of people. It's funny listening to all the YouTube streams and the forum posts and stuff. Just everyone's speculations and thoughts on it. It's interesting. People all over the place. We'll get them. We won't get them. Like, I think on RSG the other day they were discussing how we won't get Revan because they don't want to mess up Revan or something. But there's all sorts of speculation, different opinions. It's interesting to listen to.
56k on that hit with Geospy. That was just the first attack. I would have loved to have saved it up, but I want to try to win with this team too. And I think the best chance I have is taking people like Ray out here. I really should have tried to stop him from getting smokescreen up, but okay, let's see what we can do here.
All right. While you sit here and experiment with Spy, this is interesting. This is something I want to do with my Spy. Pull him off the bench here, get him some use again.
This is actually doable. I did this on Mobile Gamer stream last week, and it worked very well. It's just, if they get going with that secret intel, it becomes a problem. Oh man.
Well, because Spy.
Oh man. This is just devastating. I literally haven't gone in like 10 minutes. You know what I'm saying? It's destroying my team.
Well, this is. Granted, Ezra's not going to benefit, or excuse me, Spy's not going to benefit like Ezra would from the leadership, but it's kind of a poor man's Ezra. You won't need a Zeta, and Spy can generate that. What's the name of his Flourish? Spy can kind of replicate the damage of Flourish just naturally in his kit. So that's a good suggestion. I'm a fool of that myself and try to get something together, because that is a team I could run on TW. Because I don't think any of those characters you just use there really on any defensive teams. So that's good stuff.
I think this is just a thought that I have here. I'm going to try something different, DSP. I'm going to try to put Rex in there instead of Wampa.
All right, then we have Venicelus Reyes. I'm sure I butchered that. I apologize. You guys think they will release all 5 of the characters together like Phoenix. I would think they're going to be exactly like the solo characters we just got, and then they'll just give them to us all at once. So yes, I guess yes is the answer.
I don't think they're going to release them all at once. No, I think they're going to get a couple at a time. But I think that you're going to get the best use out of all the characters when they're all out, though. I think they're going to be kind of like Phoenix and kind of like the prepared team. They see when they build these squads, they're testing them together. Like so, they're probably testing these characters, with the other characters that are going to come out, and they're testing them all together. So, you're not going to really see what the full synergy is like until all of them are together. All right, let's see here.
We got a lot of work to do. Solo characters, Traya, all these new characters, all the Sith. You got all the KOTOR characters now. This is be a lot to work on. The bounty hunters, I haven't even touched that yet. I'm gonna have a busy few months. Let's see. We've got one from Hans Omar von Harold Duarte. Is the Kanan taunt ability in a percentage to? Let me read it first before I try to.
Oh, Rey does so much damage, man. I remember when she was like, when she was a premier character in this game, Oh,
he's basically asking if Kanan's taunt ability is the percentage to clear a debuff, or is it assured success? I'm pretty sure it's successful. Let me double check this so I'm not talking out of my rump here, but I'm pretty sure when you pop Kanan's taunt, it will debuff. It's 100% chance to debuff the ally.
I think it is a 100% chance to debuff the ally, yeah. Or to buff the ally.
Yeah, then dispel all debuffs on another target ally. He says sometimes he swears it's not working. But if that character has plague on him, though, you won't be able to get rid of the debuffs. So if plague's one of those debuffs, it won't work. But I can't really think of any other instance where it doesn't. Yeah, Kanan has a taunt buff. His tenacity is doubled. Yeah, 100% chance there, Mr. Duarte. Let's see here.
Okay, we're actually doing okay with this team against the Sith. We didn't fare so well against the Rey Jedi training team, but let's see what happens here. Ooh, whenever Traya does that, it's scary. Traya is crazy. She hits hard. Let's see if we can build up a nice hit here for.
DSP just randomly letting us know that Holdo is one of the most underrated characters. She's good, but she's average.
Holdo?
Yeah.
No, she's definitely one of the more underrated characters. I agree. I tend to agree with that. I think she's somebody who's really good and just kind of... Come on. Oh, Wampa, you got to do more damage than that. All right, let's go. Let's take him out. Oh!
Game time. We got serious.
Oh, yes! Yes! Scion's out! Yes! All right, okay. All right, now we gotta get rid of Trey because she sucks. I mean, she just sucks, Let's get rid of Traya. Come on.
Yeah, I guess apart from Wampa, this team really doesn't have any debuffs on it. So, you smacking Nihilus around, or Scion around doesn't feed Nihilus turn meter. I don't know. Nihilus' health pool is probably just ridiculous.
Nihilus is going to annihilate somebody here very shortly, and I'm just going to let it happen because.
Oh, you're not going to kill him. Not with one shot. I mean, he's way past one shot ability. Like this is where your Imperial Probe Droid would go in and try to bomb Nihilus and just take away like half of his health pool. It's silly. All these trail lead, the trail leads, like sometimes like towards the end of the battle, you know you hit a debuffed enemy, and under Treya you get 10% health back, and now it's just healing for like 25k on just somebody basic attacking a debuffed enemy. Now it's just 25,000 health. It's crazy.
This is actually a Palpatine team, but I mean, let me see.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's still got crazy health. So
Oh, whoops. Yeah. Spy's out.
Spy is good. The problem is that this is not doing enough damage at all. I got to pull that ability with Wampa. This.
Do you have the Zetas on Wampa?
Yes. 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 We won. Okay. DSP, that's for you, baby. We got that one. Okay, with that that's Geonosian Spy beating a Palpatine led team with Darth Treya on there, 7 stars, all with Zetas, all over 100 speed.
Yes, sir. You know, I just did a fist pump. Yes,
that worked.
Spy coming back, baby.
Yeah, that worked, baby. That was good. Okay. I do agree though. I think Haldo is a good character that is just not very well. She's not very widely had. So, and there's also not a lot of people really running high-end JTR teams right now. I think a lot of people are working, kind of leaning towards the Sith at the moment. So, I think that for the Resistance, though, I think she's a better option in a Rey Jedi training team than a lot of the characters. I mean, I think this team right here that we're looking at is one of the best defensive teams that a Resistance team can put out there, to be honest with you. But,
all right, McFly has asked for Yoda, GK, JTR, BB-8 a solid dozen times.
Okay, I'll put that out there. Just hold on, let me just exit this.
That's one you should have modded.
So what's it? Yoda, GK.
Yoda, GK, JTR, BB-8.
JTR.
Castaspella did. He also messaged me and requested, or suggested rather, Boba Lead, Kira, Greedo, Dengar, and Bosk. Casta, we gotta get you on here for another Swindler's Minute, man. We got lots of scoundrels. Lots of scoundrels to talk about.
I have been dying to get Castaspella on for a Swindler's Minute since we got Bosk. I've just been wanting Castaspella out here. That'd be awesome.
If you're listening, Casta, it's about that time, buddy. It's about that time.
We're due for a Swindler's Minute. I mean, we are. I mean, I want to hear what his thoughts are on Bosk. And we were going to make a video. I think we're just going to make a video. I think I'm just going to get together with Casta when he has time, and I'm going to make a Swindler's Minute, just a video, and we'll go over the whole bounty hunter faction.
The Swindlers 20 minutes.
The Swindlers 36 minutes.
I mentioned it earlier, and this is a team. It depends on where Bosk goes soon to be farmable. If he's in an easy location, like a first couple of tables of Cantina or something, that's going to kind of, entice me to work on the bounty hunters then. Because, I mean, if Bosk goes in like a single ship hard node where I can only farm him, 5 times a day, then there's really no rush to get my bounty hunters ready. But if he's in Cantina 2B, that's different. Then it's like, oh, it's go time. Because there's a lot of people that are using them in TW now with some degree of success on both offense and defense.
Oh, I really like Bosk. I think Bosk is a great character. I just think he's, he just started off obviously as a premium, and he's gonna eventually be widely had. And when that happens, I think you'll see a lot of Bosk.
Oh yeah, it'll be interesting. They get that crit damage, the stacking crit damage. I believe it is. There's their TW bonus, kind of like First Order Resistance get one, Bounty Hunters get one too. That's a lot. I mean, you get 15% stacking crit damage on characters like 88 and Boba. I mean, they're hitting hard. That's a lot of damage those two are generating. So just so many stun cuffs and Carbonis, just such a Greedo is a nightmare. Dengar's a nightmare. They're all just difficult gear. I haven't really looked at boss. I think my boss is still like gear 6, but soon. And then that's how many Zetas and Omegas does that team take? That's a big investment, but it'll be interesting. I'll do it.
Yeah,
if I can get him.
Yeah, I need more buffs. For sure. Yeah, that team looked pretty it looked pretty good. I mean, that they actually handled the other raid team pretty well. But okay, what's the next question?
I really don't unless I'm scrolling back to see if I missed any, but that's
Castaspella was the first original whale. Yeah, he did actually say that on stream. He said this. He came out his first ever live show that we did with Castaspella, and he's like, "Listen, guys, just to let you know, yes, I am a whale. You know, yes, just want to let you guys know, I am a whale. You know, which is totally the worst way to start off any stream. You know, by the way. But yeah, that was funny.
I found a couple buried here that I missed.
Okay.
Grande Patron asks, when is the next movie review?
Well, I actually went to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp last night, so that'll be another one that comes out. And I have a movie review for Fallen Kingdom, the new Jurassic Park movie. I've been editing it, and I've just been in the middle of editing it for like a week and a half now, and I haven't gotten it out. It's still sitting there, so I will put that out, even though it's way late. You know, it sucks with movies. You really want to get them out like within the first 3 days when a movie's in the theaters, and then if it's after that, you're not going to really get a lot of interest. But I think most people still want to hear my opinions about it, so I'm going to put out the Jurassic Park review. Even though it's way late now, and I'm going to do the Ant-Man review. So you'll probably have that before. I'm going to go ahead and say before. I'd say before before Wednesday. So either by Monday night or Tuesday night, I'll probably have those reviews out.
All right. Next one is from Thane Kyrell. With CG focusing on the Old Republic, what do you guys think are the chances we will get the Eternal Twins to counter both Jedi and Sith? Are you savvy on the Eternal Twins?
I am savvy on the Eternal Twins. And,
take it away.
What's the question again? Are we going to get them?
Well, he says CG's focusing on the Old Republic. What do you guys think are the chances we will get the Eternal Twins to counter both the Jedi and the Sith? I guess the Jedi they're giving us now and the Sith we already have are the Eternal Twins that will come out and counter both of them.
Well, that's a good question. I don't think that we're getting the Eternal Twins, at least not anytime soon. They're kind of obscure. They're only from they were only in basically a bonus release for that game, and I think that, is it possible that they may eventually make their way into the game? Yes, I think we're going to see Revan and Malik. And I think we'll even see other characters like possibly Darth Malgus. I mean, we're going to see other characters before we see the Eternal Twins. But before the end of this game, like when it's all said and done, and there is no more Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes, I think we can eventually see them in the game. I don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. I just think there's so many other characters that have to come first that. They're going to go there before they do that with the Eternal Twins. That's just my opinion. I mean, the Eternal Twins are definitely cool, but you're talking about possibly. Ooh, let's see. Can we take out Scion? Yes, we do. All right. The Eternal Twins have. I would imagine before we'd see the Eternal Twins, we'd see Val, or if the Eternal Twins came out, maybe we'd see Valkorion with them, or before the Eternal Twins come out, we'd see Vitiate, Revan, some of the characters that we already know very well, and I think that those characters would come first. But the Eternal Twins would be sick. I mean, it would be awesome to see them in the game.
All right. Cuzzo Kenobi asks, should I dump Thrawn under my Palps lead and run Vader since I got Traya now? I got a plus 140 set I can throw on him. Well, if you have Traya now, what you can do is you can build two teams. You could build, your Traya triumvirate. Pick your other two. I mean, whatever two you want to use, any Sith, and then you could use EP lead with Vader. I just Vader, unless you use him as lead right now, I don't feel like he's kind of fallen out of the meta. You can still use him as a leader, but in terms of he triggers the opposing nihilist, and it can be like you can have 300 speed on Vader. He goes first, drops the dots, and then triggers nihilist's turn meter. The opposing nihilist goes next and just drains all the cooldowns, and then what are you gonna do? Like I think your 140 speed is better actually suited for Nest. Even if your Nest is only 3-star Gear 7, you can put 140. It's going to be even more than 140 on Nest if it's a speed set. So that's incredible. That's a crazy fast mod. That's faster than any I have. So like if you could do that, I mean you could put that. I guess you could put it on Thrawn if that's your best option. But the problem with Thrawn going that fast is if you're facing an opposing Sith Trooper, you're just going to have to fracture Sith Trooper, or you could swap turn meter. But on AI defense, he's just going to fracture Sith Trooper. It's just, I don't know. I personally am starting to run a slower Thrawn, so he goes right after my Scion. So Scion can AOE dispel the team, and then Thrawn goes one tick slower, right behind Scion. He can, at least the defense won't target Sith Trooper every single time, but that might just be like shard specific. I have a lot of Sith Troopers on my shard, but I don't know. 140 speed set, you can do a lot with. And if you put that on Vader, yes, your Vader is going to be the fastest character probably on your shard, if that's what you're going for. But I don't know. I didn't really answer that, did I? But I'm just brainstorming here.
Yeah. No, I see they're still talking a little bit about the Eternal Twins, and it was definitely a huge, awesome story. I just think that again, before you get there, you kind of tell the story before that, and the story of the father Valkorion is Vitiate. They're the same person, so I mean you're gonna have to tell that story, I think, first before you get there. I think we'll see Revan and possibly Vitiate and Malik before we see any of those other characters, because that's the original story, and. They're kind of more in line with the characters that they are releasing. I mean, these characters that they're talking about coming into the game now, and the characters that we have already, like Scion and Traya. I mean, they were in the same. These were all characters that were around the same time as as Revan. So I think we'll see Revan before we see that. But there, this is why I keep saying that there's so many characters out there for them to do, because, they could release, Vitiate, they could release, a Valkorion, the Eternal Twins, they could release, there's so many characters they can release. I mean, the characters I'm not even thinking about right now. I mean, there's, they have Marco Ragnos, like the original Sith, and, Exar Kun, and you have I just, the list goes on. I mean, I could sit here and talk about it forever. So there's lots of characters I'd love to see, but I think the Eternal Twins would be definitely they'd be in my top 10 for sure that I'd love to see in the game. Probably top 5.
DSP, is good old Maurice going to Zeta spy when he gets one? Absolutely. Probably instantly.
I think he's playing with his spy right now on his personal account, like ever since.
I am.
I think he's modding his spy up right now. I think after we won that match against the Sith with spy, he's like, but Maurice got some ideas for sure.
Oh, I'm grinning from ear to ear. I'm not even lying. I'm ready to go. Yeah. But yeah, you'd think that all three of them, the pilots, are gonna get a Zeta. You hope.
Yeah.
We'll see. And if that's the case, because I've put a lot of resources into the Geonosis. I've got, I got Soldier and Sunfac Gear 12 with the 3 extra pieces on them, which putting multi-tools and med packs with Geonosian soldiers maybe want to throw up. But it's really making a difference in ships. I'm not used. I usually don't have to play more than 2 battles to climb back up. I got a pretty good ship fleet right now. The Geonosians are good. But yeah, Spy. I wonder what it's. I don't know. I don't even know. I guess just more damage. That'd be insane. Double the damage. Put a Zeta on him.
All right.
If I just swooped in and crit for 200K, that'd be insane.
Next question.
Thane Kyrell, good on Maurice. How do you not know about the Eternal Twins? Thane, that's what I have Ramon and Teals for. To school me on all the lore I missed.
Well, he's playing the game now, so he's going to know about all this stuff.
That comes now. Is that from the Knights of the Old Republic game, or is that from the Old Republic game?
It's from the Old Republic, but you're just getting in. The rabbit hole goes really deep. Okay, so like once you get in and you're in the beginning parts where you're at now, you'll want to get there. So you're going to buy the games in succession. You're going to beat it. Eventually, you're just going to want to continue the story. So you're going to want to know what's happening. You're going to get to. You're going to get to, the Sith Lords. You're going to get to the whole Nihilus and Treya story, and you'll find out about Kreia. You'll know who Kreia is. Because right now you probably have no idea. When I'm saying Kreia, you probably think like Darth Treya, right?
No, I have no idea who that is.
Kreia actually is Darth Treya. So I mean, it's Treya. It's a different version of Treya. I can't really explain it, but it's.
Come on, man! You're spoiling the game that came out 15 years ago. I guess we were out of the spoiler zone.
No, we're not. It's not that we're a spoiler. It's just that you can talk about this stuff forever. You can start talking about, there's so many stories behind it, and there's lots of games, and it's a long story. But Kreia is basically like the light side version of Treya. That she used to be a Jedi before she became a Sith.
All right, Garrett Franzak is asking, could you put a Rolo lead with CLS and Wigs? Want to know if I should gear Rolo for my arena team. I don't know about the team, but you don't want to overinvest in Rolo. Outside of light side TB, and there's one small little use for her in P3 of the Sith raid. But it's minimal. It's just like an additional team, an easy way to pick up, maybe 1% extra damage. But you really just want to gear Rolo just high enough to where you can beat all the things you need to beat with her. Kind of like your bounty hunters. I'm assuming you're a newer player if you're asking about CLS and Wigs. But Rolo really shouldn't be on your arena team long term. Short term, perhaps, but just gear up just enough to get that currency for your guild, and you get the stuff you need from Lightside TB. Not a terrible character overall, but just not the best. Yeah, she was kind of a lit down for being a character that you have to earn. At least to me, like I was hoping she'd be a little better, but I don't know. Yeah, again, there's a P3 team that you could run that's super RG dependent and just as frustrating as the Chex Mix team to get set up properly. But outside of that, I really don't know if she has many other uses.
So about Rolo?
Yeah.
I mean, she does have a really interesting kind of kit. I really haven't played around with her so much. I feel like her and Captain Han Solo were really just created for territory battles.
Yeah.
But I mean, but Captain Han Solo does have utility also. He's, there's some of the better characters that you just really don't think about too much. I would love to play around with both Rolo and Captain Han Solo a little bit more, maybe, on the test account, and kind of see, what other uses they might have. Because to be honest with you, I really didn't mess around with them too much. I really just kind of brushed them aside when I first got them as characters that were really primarily created for TB, and just kind of characters that you had to have. And since I've had them, I really didn't gear up Rolo too high or CHS. I kind of just use them, just at a level where they're good enough to clear the content. So since I have them on my test accounts, I should try them out a little bit more and do some practice with them. See if there's other ways to use them for sure.
All right, we had one coming in here. We had a couple more. Do you think CG will bring an XR Coon into the game now that he is canon?
That's a good question. I'd love to say yes, but again, I think the next KOTOR. I mean, I'm wrong. I was wrong about this before because I thought the next KOTOR character was going to be Revan, a week ago. But now that we're getting all these new KOTOR characters, I obviously was a little bit off base with that. But I do think after this, I think the next KOTOR characters that we're getting are, I think Revan and Malik, or Malik or Revan first. I think it's going to be either one of those two characters. They're dealing too much in that story period, and I mean, like the characters that we were getting now, their story intertwines with Revan. I think that's definitely the next place that they're going, and then after that, then all other avenues are open. Then I mean, I guess we could see, we could see Vitiate, we could see Valkorion, we could see XR Coon. I mean, all those characters could eventually make their way into the game. I mean, listen, if Trey is in this game, and Scion, and Nihilus, then there's a chance for anything. Okay, but I'm just saying that I think the first thing we're getting after all these characters that we've gotten so far is going to be Revan and Malik.
Yeah. All right, Josue asks, what do y'all think will dethrone or at least take part of the pie from the current meta?
I think it'll be like when the time comes. I think it could be a number of things. I think it's going to be mainly it'll either be like a rework to, like, let's say droids, or possibly like the separatists, like maybe like a separatist faction that comes into the game and kind of dominates, or it'll be maybe Jedi.
Well, I don't think there's anything that's going to instantly change it. Like, if these new characters are going to be the counter for Traya, it's still going to take the vast majority of the game population months to acquire these characters and gear them and get them arena ready. I mean, we're talking months. It would, like you said, it would take a overnight rework to characters we already have, like Palpatine. They did a rework for Palpatine and Vader, and those are characters everybody had, so it instantly changed the meta. Even if you did like a droid rework, a lot of people don't have Grievous. Like, let's say the Separatists get reworked, and all of a sudden, General Grievous B2 and IG-100 have this crazy synergy with one another. Like, these are characters a lot of people have, and it geared up. So even then, it would still take a couple weeks for that to come into effect. I mean, that includes characters like Dooku, another character maybe a lot of us have, but he's gear 10, gear 11 from way back in the Invasion meta. I mean, it still take a little bit of work. I don't. There's nothing in the game right now that can really do anything about it. I mean, you could win, but it's just not really. I wouldn't call it nothing that's able to dethrone Traya and Palpatine and the Triumvirate. Just it's here for at least another month or two. But all it takes is one character, right? Like R2 and B2. I mean, those characters ruined the Maul meta. R2 came out, B2 became farmable, and all of a sudden, everyone was using Maul just instantly disappeared. Kind of like we watched Kenobi just fall off the meta altogether in the last few weeks. We just watched him slowly decline. Now was he even on the meta this week? The meta report for characters?
No, it was not.
So it's unfortunate that we're in such an RNG dependent meta. It's very frustrating because you can have the best team on the Shard and still struggle if you miss a debuff or something doesn't go your way, yada yada yada. It's frustrating. All right, see you, Grim. We got one more here. I just saw it's good question. It is. Would it be a good idea to gear up Anakin to gear 12, or wait for KOTOR Jedi and gear them up for the new Jedi meta? Well, if you do decide to do Anakin, you will be. There is part of. Let me look up exactly which one it is. One of the quests that we have now. You complete the Jedi Knight for 4, and then you have the option to open up the Jedi Master quest afterwards. And let's see. Oh, I know there's one. There's one where that requires, yes, Anakin to be Gear 12 for one of the quests. I don't remember which one it is here. I saw it earlier today. Oh, Jedi Knight 2 of 4. The second part of the Jedi quest now, you have to have Anakin at Gear 12. So, I mean, you can use it for that, but I don't know. He's not very, I don't think he's one of the desirable ones. I don't think he really makes any team right now.
I would say don't Gear 12 Anakin.
No, you probably have a dozen other characters on your roster that should probably go to Gear 12 first.
Wait until you see the kits for the new characters first, and see what see if you like them, and one of the common mistakes that people make is you try to get ready for what's happening in advance, and you go for some things that are a little bit outside of the box. And what I'm saying is that there are things that, like, I made a video that was out yesterday, kind of talking about what you should do to prepare for the new Jedi, and the gist of it is, what I'm trying to say in that video is basically that what you think is going to work is probably still going to work. We're not going to. Jedi Knight Guardian is not going to suddenly become the new meta. I mean, you're probably going to be able to get viability from Kenobi. If not Kenobi, because of, let's say, Traya, maybe it'll be Old Ben, maybe it'll be Ayla, maybe it'll be Anakin, maybe it could be, obviously Ezra, Hermit Yoda are probably going to be a part of it. You can kind of tell the characters that are going to be part of that group, and I think no matter what happens with that group, you're not going to suddenly have a team that's instantly going to dethrone the Sith. They'll just be good enough to win on offense and get you there, and then you'll still have to win back again on the next day to catch back up on defense. So they're still going to get defeated on defense, and that's just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? But they're interesting, fun teams you can play with in Arena that can beat some of these meta squads, and there are some different compositions that'll work. Obviously Visas we see works really well, but don't go out there and start investing in characters that you're not sure about until you see what the new kits are and what they bring to the table. Because, for example, let's say the new kit for one of these new Jedi, like like Bastila, she could possibly have some sort of maybe a unique ability, maybe a leader ability, who knows, something that affects the other Jedi that make them better. Maybe something that works directly in cohesion with Anakin, and maybe that makes sense then. Then it makes sense to gear Anakin to gear 12. But for now, just wait until you get that information and then make that decision. You want to have all the facts on the table before you start investing resources, especially in a game like this, which is so resource intensive.
Well, Thane asked that question earlier. Should he save his crystals? He's asking, should he, right now, just save everything. If you're on the fence about saving something and spending it, just save it for now. Like me, Zetas burn a hole in my pocket. I cannot save them for the life of me, but even, like, I'm trying my hardest just to save all the Zetas, because, if these new Jedi come out and they offer, something great to the faction, then I want to have those Zetas ready, because, I need them all. I got one on Hermit Yoda. That's it. I would need both on Grand Master. I'd probably need one on Ezra, possibly one on Visas, just all sorts of, because right now they have a viable Arena team and more seasoned shards. You have to have the Zetas for it. You can't just run no Zeta squads. There's very, very few. There's some cheese teams you can run, like Nest with Finn and stuff like that. There's cheesy kind of ways around it, but that's not going to hold on defense. You still have to have something where you don't have to play 40 games to climb back up every day. It's
and
just save everything.
You can't.
Credits.
You can never go wrong by saving. Like, I mean, you're never gonna. It's never the wrong choice. To save your stuff. You can always make a decision later and see what makes sense. There was also another question by DSP. He said, he wants to see he asked if they'd ever make a new Old Republic game where you were Revan in more of an open world type game, kind of like let's say like Grand Theft Auto or something like that, where you're kind of walking around and you're a character like that. That would be really sick. I mean, that would be kind of a combination of almost like what was that game where you're a character that's walking around that has like like you have like these abilities and you could like force push people around and things like that. I forget it.
My god, I played it. It was Infamous too.
Infamous, yes, Infamous.
Yeah.
That game is. It would be kind of like that, and that would be sick if you were a Jedi, and you were just like in an open world game like that. That would be so sick. And there was a game by that EA was kind of making, that's been in development for a couple of years. That was in development, and it seemed like that's the direction that they were going in. And there was
I'll look it up. I've seen that too.
There was even concepts about the game's actually done now. That game was canceled. They just actually announced that it was canceled last year, and then at the most recent EA Play, they announced that there was a new game coming out and that they started development on it now, and it's going to be called Star Wars Fallen. I think Jedi Fallen Order or something like that, or.
Well, they're working on a really, really, really big game. I'm trying to find the name of it, but it's an open world. So if this game's successful, then who knows? I mean, if they've already got the engine and stuff running on this, they could just basically just reskin it as a Star Wars game. Yeah, I mean, not reskin it. I mean, obviously there's more to that, but
it's called it's by Respawn Entertainment. They're the new studio working on it. And it's going to be called Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. That's going to be the new game. And that was like I said, we were supposed to be getting a new game like later this year, early next year already, and that game got canceled. Now, I don't know what the reason was for that. I mean, they really haven't said anything to us. And when I was at EA Studios, and they were, the studio upstairs was working on that new Star Wars game, like, we were not allowed anywhere near there. Like, they wouldn't even tell us like concepts, like what they were thinking about, or what the premise was, or if it, what style of game it was going to be. And even the higher ups in our program, like EHSC and people like that, like I mean, maybe he was just telling us that. I mean, I don't know, maybe he does know more than he's letting on to us, but he said that he had no idea what was going on with that game either, and they weren't allowed up there to find out about it also. So it was very much like need to know kind of basis situation with that game. And I have the feeling that, Jedi Fallen Order is going to be kind of the same thing. But I mean, they had to give us something, like a title at least, to go on, because obviously there were expectations already for another game to come out, and they had to kind of explain why, there's going to be such a long wait until this game does eventually drop. And I believe they're expecting it to drop sometime late 2019. So, this should be something that we can be looking at, next year. And I'm sure we'll get a sneak peek at it next year at EA Play and E3.
All right. Well then, you were ready for that question.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really all the questions I really see here in the chat.
Yeah, I would love KOTOR 3 for sure, Josue. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We're going to call it a stream here, guys. I appreciate everybody hanging out with us so late. We're just at around the 2-hour mark here, so this is about that time. We'll be back next week with another live show, and I'll be putting out some more videos this week. Like I said earlier, I'll probably have a couple of movie reviews out this week as well, so stay tuned for that if you guys want to see me or you're interested in my opinions on the new Ant-Man movie and the new Jurassic Park movie. But other than that, we will be back next week on the same channel, same time, doing our live show. Eventually, I would like to get to more of an earlier time and maybe do a little bit of a more consistent format with this show. So, being that we're not going to be doing the Marvel Strike Force live show anymore, I think me and Maurice are going to kind of work on that and try to add some new elements to the live show as well, to make it a little bit more interactive for you guys. Maybe have some more guests on here, maybe do some more roster reviews and things like that live on the show, and possibly have some other aspects or graphics on the show, and maybe even eventually get Maurice's beautiful face on the screen as well at some point. I'll see if I can convince him to do that. But
oh yeah,
that's coming, guys. I'm telling you, Maurice's face right up here. Okay, yeah, we're working on that stuff. So we'll continue to work on it, and obviously, I appreciate the donation DSP. That's that kind of stuff will help. Towards getting I'm working on getting a green screen right now too, so I can do some stuff like that. But I appreciate everybody sticking that out with us. And if you have any questions, you can reach me on Discord. Also, if you guys are looking to check out some other Star Wars content, you can go to the AllianceGaming.com to take a look at that. You can find other content creators from the Alliance that are there, as well as replays of the live show. You can see there as well too. And they are trying to revamp that website currently to kind of give you more reason to be there. There's also the Cantina Visla podcast, I believe they have every week as well, with Sparrow and Stan, so you can check that out. But I appreciate everybody hanging out with me and Maurice, and we'll be back next week for another Star Wars Galaxy Heroes live show. But may the Force be with you guys, and we will see you on the next one.